Okay, so if you have your Bibles, flick your way to Matthew 18. We're looking at verses 1 to 5, and let's delve in to see actually what this is telling us. It's absolutely fine. It's the joys having kids with us. So, now that you're thinking back to your childhood, you've remembered it fondly and also sweetly, let's look at the disciples. Verse 1, they're coming to Jesus. Who is the greatest? Once again, they're arguing with each other. Who's the greatest? Who's going to have the highest place of glory in heaven? And at this point, you remember that they're fishermen. And fishermen and children have something very much in common. They always have to be right, and they always have to be the best. I don't know if you've ever spent time watching children as they're playing. Quite often it turns into a competition of, my pan's bigger than yours. But it's also true of fishermen. A sweeping generalization for those that fish. I appreciate this. But if you ever spend time with fishermen, and they start talking about fishing, generally they go a little bit like this. There's a guy sort of going, the other day I was down the river and I caught a fish. It was this big. It was huge. Mags knows where this is going. The next person can't be outdone. He's like, well, when I was out on the boat on the loch, I caught a fish this big. It almost tipped over the boat. And then there's that one that says, well, when I was shark fishing in the Bahamas, it took 4 of us to reel that bad boy in. It almost took off my arm. He's never gone further than Dumfries in his life, but he's been shark fishing in the Bahamas. This is what I think of when I read verses like verse 1 and the disciples saying, I'm better. Well, he loves me more. I was the first one he called. He's given me the keys to heaven. Well, I'm the rock. They're all trying to blow their own trumpet. I love John. I love reading John. I love the fact he describes himself as the one Jesus loved the most. He gets it in there, even in his writings. And what Jesus does is beautiful. He doesn't lose his patience, like I do. And she's like, just stop. Enough already. No, what he does. Verse 2. He called a little child to him. He placed the child among them, and he said, truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. You can just imagine the looks on their faces. It's like, I'm the best. Jesus, tell them that I'm going to be the best. And it's like, well, you need to be like a little child. I'm like, what? What are you on about? Now, I'm sure there's some that will have got this straight away. All right, humility, lose the pride, lose the ego. But I'm just as sure that the disciples like us, they're dense. It takes a lot of times to hear this message for it to sink through for them. And they just didn't get it. So what does it mean for us to be like little children? To behave childlike but not childish. The joy, the trust, the innocence, the curiosity, the dependence on someone bigger to sustain them and keep them safe. To look after them. Children know they need adults. They need parents. That's why you constantly hear a chorus in a house with children. Mommy! Or Daddy! Ask your mother. Mommy! They ask for everything. And that's the relationship we should have with God. One that is filled with joy, trust, curiosity, and complete dependence. Now, I'm going to embarrass Joshua just now. He doesn't know I'm going to do this. Hey, bud. But a few weeks ago, we were away on camp, and he got locked in the bedroom. And he'd been locked in the bathroom earlier in the weekend, but he got locked in the bedroom. And Vicky was on the other side of the door. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Vicky runs down the stairs to sort of try and get me. It's like, oh, what can we do? And it's like, I'm in the middle of doing the serious talk with the teenagers. So it's like, I can't interrupt him. And so she goes off to try and find her mum that's cooking. And as she does this, Joshua appears. It's like, oh, Joshua, that's brilliant. And Joshua's like, yeah, I prayed to God for strength, and he helped me. Joshua put this beautifully into action. He asked for help from God. Vicky, as the older, wiser, more mature adult, as we all are, the first thing she did was, right, where's the key? And she was looking for something earthly. But Joshua, in his childlike way, went to God for help. He lived out what it says in Philippians. Rejoice in the Lord always. I say again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. When we were praying this morning, we were talking about the good times and the bad times, looking to God, talking to him about everything. As we grow up and become adults, we become more worldly independent. We have grown up. When you're saying, I can't wait till I grow up, well, you've grown up, you're worldly independent, and often we become spiritually independent too. I can buy what I want, I can look after myself, and we forget about the good, loving, caring God. So again, I want you to think back on your childhood. But this time, think about the loved ones who took care of you. It might be your parents. It might be your neighbor. It might be someone else in the family. It could just be a teacher. But think of someone who just loved you. Have a think of that person. They might not have always got it right, but think of the relationship you had with them. One that is full of trust, hope, joy, and dependence. And now think of your relationship with God. Is it a childlike relationship that you have? Or is it a childish one? God who loves you so much, he gives you the strength when we call on him. God who loves you so much, he wants you to have life to the full. God who loves you so much, he gave his life for you. And a God who loves you so much, he calls you his children. This is the God that wants a relationship with you, to guide you in the ups and downs of life and give you a kick when you need it, because he is a God that cares for you. I love my job. Working with children and young people constantly reminds me of God working in the lives of everybody, no matter who they are or what messes have happened in their life. I learn so much from seeing their childlike faith in action daily. At an SU group about a year ago now, there was the leaders were talking about prayer. And one of the children just couldn't grasp this. Or in fact, they did grasp this, and they were amazed at it. And they said, I can talk to God anywhere. He's like, yeah, even on the toilet? Yeah. The leader was like, yes, you can. I've never thought of it that way before. But again, it's that childlike faith. Children are amazed at who God is. And sometimes I feel as adults we lose that sense of wonder and amazement of who God is. So as you think back on your childhood today, and you will be remembering bits and pieces, hopefully, throughout the day, think also about God. Think about not only what he has done for you back then, but what he continues to do for you now. And as I finish, I want to leave you with a challenge. How is your relationship with God? Is it one of being his child, depending on him? Or have you become too self-sufficient in your own spiritual life?